Welcome to this MTZ Weekly Astrology Forecast for August 15th through the 21st of 2016. So this week we have Venus trine Pluto, a full moon between Capricorn and Aquarius, as well as Mercury going into Virgo opposing Chiron. This is a week of intimate connections, culmination of grounded freedom, as well as understanding more about how to get things done with flow and acceptance. In this video, I'm going to show you how to work with and master these astrological transits coming up next. Let's look at the first half of the week where we have Venus trine Pluto. Last week we had Mercury go over this part of the sky, which was helping us see things in a deeper and more meaningful way. Now Venus, the planet of how we connect to things we value in life, is in this placement. This is a time of deep connections in both what we enjoy as well as our relationships. When it comes to the enjoyments of life, Venus here can help us connect to things in a way that really matters, connecting to them for the deep truth of how they really are. Regarding relationships, Venus helps us relate to those around us in an intimate and profound way, getting in touch to what really matters and having openness, trust, and vulnerability. This is a great week for being grateful for who and what we have in our lives, as well as to tell those close to us how much they really mean to us. It's times like this that it can be easy to prioritize what matters most. Consider the story about a teacher who was giving her class a lesson about the priorities of life. She took out an empty glass jar, set it on her desk, and filled it with rocks. She asked the class, "Is this jar full?" "Yes," everyone shouted. "Really?" she exclaimed. Then she took a bag of gravel and filled up the jar until the empty spaces between the rocks had been filled. She asked again, "Is this jar full?" Some of the students nodded their head yes. Then the teacher pulled out a bag of sand and filled up the jar. Once more the teacher asked, "Is the jar full now?" One student replied, "Probably not." "Very good," she said. She then pulled out a pitcher of water and poured it into the jar until it was full. She asked again, "Is the jar full now?" "Yes," all the students shouted. She said, "If I had started filling the jar with water, then the sand, then the gravel, would I have ever have gotten the rocks in?" In your life, never forget this, she said. If you spend your time and energy trying to manage the small stuff, there will be no room for the things and people that really matter. What are your values? Are they your children, your partner, your friends? Is it to enjoy life to the utmost? Whatever they are, connect to these things first. There will always be time to go to work or clean the house, but you have to connect to your main values first, the rocks. Set your priorities, the rest is just sand. This is a great week for setting our priorities and connecting to those things and people that matter most to us. Here's a list of areas this aspect will be involved for you. You can look at this for your sun, moon, and ascendant sign. If you are new to the channel, check the description below because the signs in this video are different. Ask yourself, what are the things that matter most to you in these areas? How can you spend time and energy on them this week? Now let's look at the full moon we have on Thursday. This is a week of culmination and completion of what we started the past couple weeks, as well as the past 6 months. Between Capricorn and Aquarius, this full moon symbolizes an awareness of how we can have both maturity and freedom in our lives. Capricorn, the sign of discipline and patience, emphasizes the grounded side of ourselves that understands that things take time, energy, and persistence. Aquarius, on the other hand, represents our individualistic, progressive, and freedom-loving side. Aquarius brings out our true self that wants to mix things up so our life is more in alignment with who we truly are. The link between these two very different areas of life is Saturn. If you look at the traditional rulers of the zodiac, Saturn is said to rule both Capricorn and Aquarius. Saturn, the planet of grounded discipline, can be easily associated with Capricorn, which represents the same qualities as Saturn. However, how does Aquarius link with Saturn? A side of Saturn that is rarely, if ever, talked about is that Saturn, metaphorically speaking, wants us to build things in our life that are based on who we truly are. As we all know, there is no satisfaction in working hard towards things if they do not stem from our true selves. Have you ever built things in your life later to find out it was not based on a foundation of who you really are? This is the link between these two constellations, asking ourselves how we can continue to build things based on who we are and what gives us a sense of individuality and freedom. Are there things we can let go of during this time that do not stem from our personal ideals? Sometimes during full moons, we have to let things go to continue to cultivate what is in alignment. We are at a status check this week, and the last thing we want to build are things based on what others, society, or the status quo wants of us. The key is to build what resonates with us on a personal and individual level. Here's a list of areas this full moon is involved for you. Ask yourself how you can build things in these areas that give you a sense of freedom and excitement. How can you work hard in this area so that the end result is a greater expression of who you truly are? Now let's look at the second half of the week, where we have Mercury entering Virgo and opposing Chiron. Mercury, the planet of our minds, is going into his natural sign of Virgo on Thursday. Virgo, the sign of taking care of and improving things, our minds will shift towards how to refine, improve, and organize things in our life. This might be through our work or routine, as well as with our self-improvement and personal development. Opposing Chiron, perhaps there are some ways we can do this with acceptance. Chiron, the comet that represents healing, has recently entered Pisces this year. This transit has been helping us heal any internal wounds we might have that are preventing us from connecting to the inner core of our being. Whether they be traumas, anxieties, or fears that are preventing us from connecting to the essence of who we are and of life. Chiron is helping us heal these wounds, insecurities, or doubts. With Chiron in Pisces and Mercury in Virgo, through connecting to our internal essence, we can bring in more peace, tranquility, and presence to our everyday experiences. We can find the flow which comes through accepting ourselves and our experiences for exactly how they are. In this way, we might find that we accomplish tasks easily with Mercury in his natural sign. Our minds can be sharp, and it can be easy to get things done, organize things in our life, and work on our personal development. Here's a list of areas Mercury is transiting for you. See how you can bring in some refinements, organization, and improvement to this area. Where can you do some internal healing that might be preventing you from connecting to the essence of yourself, as well as these areas? Through this unconditional acceptance, we can connect to the undercurrent of our daily lives. So this week we have Venus trine Pluto, helping us connect to our values. The things and people we enjoy can have an added dose of richness and intimacy. This is a great time to set our priorities around what really matters. With the moon on Thursday, a status check of how we can have both structure and freedom. That the things we build must be in alignment with what we're all about. And Mercury entering Virgo opposite Chiron later in the week, how we can heal ourselves so that there is acceptance and peace in our everyday lives. Through this, we can get quite a bit done going into the rest of August. So thank you so much for all of your support. If you have any questions or comments, please type them in the description below. Be sure to share this with your friends and family. As always, have an excellent week, take care, and I'll see you next week.